Do you know what I absolutely love seeing? Tables turn. And they always turn eventually. I always say to people, be careful, tables turn. So what the fuck am I talking about right now? So with the 4B movement and the child-free lifestyle, the dinks, the sinks, gently becoming not only more socially acceptable, but actually more popular, it's starting to really change a very long-standing narrative within society. And me, I am 150% here for it. So we have birth rates declining, fewer and fewer people are getting married, or even in relationships. So where does that leave us as a society? Well, I've realized something quite comical to watch, definitely. And that is that men are starting to realize that you actually have to bring something to the table now. Long gone are the days where you can just click your finger like that and have a woman. Because I remember when I was growing up back in the 90s and the early noughties, and I used to see all around me women flinging themselves at men, women doing their best to seem nice and approachable and smiling more and doing everything in their power to look like wifey material. Do you remember that one, wifey material? That used to be a flex when I was growing up. Everybody was aiming to be wifey material for some fucking reason. And people used to always say to me, Jade, with that attitude, you ain't ever gonna find yourself a man. You need to behave yourself, be a good girl, because ain't no one gonna marry you like that. And at that time when I was growing up, I'd be like, I don't give a flying fuck. The irony is, as much as people would tell me to be a nice girl and to calm down and to chill out and all of this shit, I was the one who actually ended up married, which was really quite funny. Because all those people trying to tell me to dim my light because ain't no man gonna marry you, well, they're all fucking single. They're either single or they're single parents, which I find highly, highly ironic. Look, I know a lot of people don't like feminism and they don't like how far it's gone. But the truth is, I believe personally that women just wanted equal rights. That was it. In workplaces, in societies, in motherhood, in general. They just wanted to be treated as an equal. We weren't trying to be better than you or earn more or outlift you in the gym or outrun you or any of this fucking shit. We just wanted to be treated as equals. That was literally it. But it's just really interesting to watch roundabout now. So many people, like so many women specifically, shunning marriage, shunning motherhood, because it has always been something that has benefited men in the long run. Literally, it's always been an aesthetic for men, but work for a woman. And it's always been aesthetics for a man and beneficial for a man, but oppressing for a woman. We all know the triggered man narrative when they come across a single woman, living her own life, earning her own money. I get it. You feel like you don't play a part in your masculinity. Fine. But the thing is, the whole go and live with 50 cats, like this whole narrative is old AF right now. Like for real, just change the record. This does not hold the same weight as it did back in the 90s and noughties. Say that to a woman now and they'll laugh in your fucking face. Seriously, if you want to try and get us down, you're going to have to try a little bit harder than the 50 cats and lonely narrative. Because that's a flex for us now. Like for real, that is a flex. And the whole dying alone and all of this fucking shit, it doesn't scare us anymore. Come on, it doesn't have the same weight. You guys are going to have to change the record if you want to keep up with society's narrative. You're going to have to change that record because it's getting just a little bit boring to hear now. And of course, it doesn't actually have the same effect. So say that to a woman now and she's just going to laugh in your face, roll her eyes and walk off. Honestly, when I heard about this 4B movement stuff that started in South Korea, I looked into it a little bit more because from the outside, it just looks like women who hate men. But the thing is, let's look at why such a movement came along. Listen, women are just sick to their back fucking teeth of having to deal with abuse, harassment, controlling behavior, all of this kind of shit that women have been dealing with for fucking decades. Literally. That is why such movements are now becoming increasingly popular. And so many women in the Western world, while not necessarily following the 4B movement, are shunning stuff like marriage, relationships, motherhood, etc. because they are so done with just not being treated as an equal. That is literally it. And as I read, it is actually a really good time for men to actually self-reflect and to see what it is that they can do to actually improve, instead of blaming women and feminism and being angry at women. Why don't we just look in the mirror and see, maybe it's something I'm doing. Who knows, Chad? Maybe it is actually something you're doing, and maybe something that men have been doing for decades and decades and decades. And guess what? I think, sneaky suspicious feeling that women might just be a little bit sick of it and are protesting. Who would have thought? So next time you come across a woman who's happily single and living her best life with her hundreds of cats and dogs, mind your business. And actually maybe use it as a chance to reflect on why you think she wants to rather live alone with her cats and dogs than deal with a man-child. Have a little think about that one, and most importantly, mind your damn fucking business.